Jay Karstens.
And I'm student meteorologist Shelly Lindblade.
Lots to talk about on the show tonight, and the main topic is a nice little cool stretch that just happened across the area today.
Absolutely. It is now sweater weather, folks. We are bringing out those jackets, those light jackets, those whatever you want to wear when it's cold out. It's absolutely beautiful today.
Obviously depends on where you're from. Some of us have been okay out there with t-shirts, but the South Floridians out there, it has been one of those days for sure.
Definitely. If you are a Floridian, you're probably not used to this cold, so you probably are bundling up a lot more than other people.
And bad news for those of you out there, that trend is going to be continuing, though the sun will be peeking its way back out. We'll have a little bit more on that later, though, and Shelly, you're going to have some interesting things to talk about in regards to this cold weather in your solo desk.
Definitely, I will. We will be talking about what we can do to prepare for that cold weather later on in the show, though.
And I will have an outlook as to the rest of the winter, what we can come to expect around Tallahassee, as well as the rest of the country.
Oh, definitely. I'm looking forward to learning a lot more about that around our national weather.
Yeah, that sounds good. Now, lots to talk about on the show, so let's get it started right now. We are going to send it over to Shane to give us a little bit of an overview as to what we're going to be seeing the rest of the time.
Hey, thanks guys. It sure is a chilly one out there today, and the main culprit can be seen right here on this map. We've got all this cloud cover over the panhandle of North Florida, and that's associated with a cold front, aptly named because it's dropping our temperatures. But what it's not doing is bringing us any rain at all, despite all those clouds way up there in the sky. All we can see are a few thin bands of rain just to the south of Mariana that have formed in the last few hours. But over the capital city, it is high and dry here in the capital. And tonight it's going to be mostly cloudy and dry and cold. 45 degrees we're calling for an overnight low tomorrow morning. It's going to be chilly. You're going to want those winter layers out there. It's going to be cold again tomorrow with sunny skies this weekend and a bit of a warm up on Monday. But now why don't we throw it back to the desk for another story.
Thanks a lot, Shane. Lots to look forward to, and again, we'll have some more details later on in the show. For now, finals week is on the horizon, the moment we've all been waiting for, I guess, so to speak.
It is heading towards us, so make sure to prepare for those finals. If you are taking a lot of them, make sure to prepare in advance, that is.
Yeah, I'll have 4. I'm not necessarily looking forward to it, but, you know, we'll get through it, and the weather's going to be cooperating with us. Now, there are lots of resources for you out there. If you're going to be, doing some last-second studying, Stroger and Direct libraries will be open 24 hours. Actually, Sewanee Room, the old dining hall is going to be open 24 hours as well. I believe it's the first time they've ever done that.
That is the first time they've ever done that. It's absolutely crazy. But it is good if you are studying till the wee hours of the morning and you don't get any food in for the whole day. You can go out and grab a bite right after you're done studying. Maybe head to bed right after or continue studying if you need to.
Of course, but all of us here at FSU Weather do encourage you to get as much sleep as possible. So please do that. But again, the weather is going to be looking beautiful throughout the entire week. Not warming up too much, but Shane, what's it all going to be like?
Well, I think it might just be cool enough to keep me inside and actually studying this time. Let's talk about the weather from today. It's what we call an upside down day, actually. The high today was last night at 59 degrees, and the low was earlier this afternoon at 53 degrees. So the temperature dropped throughout most of the day with just a few degrees we climbed later this afternoon. And last year we actually set a record high of 81 degrees here in Tallahassee. Let's now talk about what it's like right now. Nothing near 81 degrees. It's 53, it's mostly cloudy, and the dew point at 43 degrees has the humidity up there, but you wouldn't know it because it's so chilly out there. Here's our wide look at that cold front sliding through again, just that thin band of rain off to our west with a lot of cloud cover all around. But we've got wide open clear skies behind that, which will bring us a lot of sunshine this weekend. Now let's talk about the 24-hour temperature change. This means the difference in temperature between this time today and this time yesterday. So yesterday at 6, it was 15 degrees warmer in Tallahassee. So that cold front is really dropping the temperatures. We hope it won't be dropping our grades next week when we take our finals. So for our FutureCast temperatures tonight, our model projects us getting down into the mid to lower 40s. Might not get that cold. The model does tend to get a little overexcited. And then tomorrow we'll be climbing up into the 50s, probably breaking into the 60s for most of the Big Bend region. And then once again dropping down into the 40s when we get into the weekend, maybe even flirting with the upper 30s there in South Georgia. Now, as for tonight in Tallahassee, once again, we're going to get down to 45 degrees. It's going to be cloudy and it's going to be chilly. So if you're heading out tonight, make sure you bundle up, especially if you're not used to this cold. It's a little bit windy out there with the wind coming from the north at 5 miles per hour, pouring in that cold air with this Arctic air mass. So you're going to want to be prepared with gloves, scarves, and the like. Now, when we get to tomorrow's weather, 65 degrees, it's going to be dry. The clouds will be breaking up with sunny conditions to follow. So I advise dressing in layers. Keep your jacket around when you leave in the morning, but have a shirt, a t-shirt under that, because when we're going to be getting up close to 70 degrees tomorrow, some of us will find that a little bit too warm with the sunshine out there. Speaking of weather wear, we're breaking it down for you with its own special graphic tonight. With that cold blast tomorrow, a moderate jacket is exactly what you'll want. And it's going to be sunny but cold on Saturday, so sunglasses are a must. And Sunday, it might just be nice enough to break out the t-shirts again. Here's the 7 days to follow. Once again, cold as we enter the weekend, slight chance of rain early next week with highs climbing back up into the 70s. And now Shelley's going to broaden our view to the southeast.
Thanks a lot, Shane. Boy, has it been absolutely cold out for the whole southeast, excluding southern Florida, of course. Right now, 47 in Montgomery, 53 in Tallahassee, 54 up in Savannah, pretty much the low 50s, high 40s for all of the the upper southeast region, that is. But as we move down to the more south, we're seeing 66 in Orlando, 75 down in Miami, 74 in Key West. I'm sure that's a little cool for those people down there, so they probably are bundling up a little bit in those light jackets. For our 24-hour temperature change, boy, did we see a drastic change after that cold front passed. Negative 15 in Tallahassee, that is absolutely crazy. Minus 11 in Savannah, minus 7 up in Atlanta, minus 11 down in Orlando. Not too bad down in Miami and Key West, but that cold front is still making its way down there. For our current wind speed, 8 miles per hour in Tallahassee, 8 in Savannah, 10 down in Orlando, 5 in Miami, and 7 down in the Key West, 3 in Montgomery. Not seeing too much, but the places that are seeing 8 and higher, it's going to factor into that wind chill, and it will make it seem a little bit cooler for you folks out there. Our southeast radar shows all that cloud cover and where that cold front is actually headed right now. We see all that moisture taking place down in the southern parts of Florida where that rain is hitting them because that cold front is passing through. And we see all that cloud cover behind that cold front. And we saw all that today because we did see that really cloudy day all day. For our FutureCast Radar, we still see that cold front making its way through the south of Florida right now. Through Miami, through the Keys, they're seeing a lot of rain right now. It's going to chill down after that passes. But for Tallahassee, we're seeing a little bit of moisture with that cloud cover, but nothing too drastic right now. And as we move into Friday, that rain is going to continue down in south of Florida. Tallahassee is going to start to clear up, and so we're going to start to see more of that beautiful weather, folks, which is something we're really looking forward to. And as that continues on, more of that moisture is going to clear out into Saturday night. Our airport delays, absolutely nothing going around right now in the southeast, which is perfect for everyone. And tonight's forecast, really chilly, so make sure you bundle up, folks. But now we're going to throw it down back to Jake at the desk.
Thanks a lot, Shelley. It's definitely interesting to still see South Florida being so stubborn in terms of those temperatures. But around here, the weather has been cooler, and I have a winter outlook for you. And good news for those of you who like the cold weather, it is going to be sticking around. We have an El Nino out in the Pacific, and for those of you who don't know exactly what that means, it is essentially a warming of waters over the Pacific Ocean. I actually mentioned this on the show a while back, but since it's December, I feel like it's time to introduce it again. And this warming of the waters, imagine it pushing warmer air up towards the western extremities of the United States and pushing some cooler air off towards the east, towards Florida. Now, for the entire country, we're going to see a pretty big change in the average trends when it comes to winter, both temperature-wise and in terms of precipitation. The northern and western extremities of the country are going to be looking at very, very warm temperatures, perhaps 50% warmer than usual in areas of Michigan, as well as the majority of Montana. and it's going to be a little bit cooler and wetter down towards the south. For those of you who are interested, in Tallahassee, it's going to be potentially 70% wetter than the average winter, with 30 to 40% cooler temperatures. So the question that we all have to ask, does this mean snow is a possibility? We'll have to see about that. The last recorded snowfall in Tallahassee, at least measurable, occurred back in 1989. We've only had trace amounts in the last couple of decades. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops during the course of the next few months. The biggest snow fun fact, the biggest snowfall that we've ever had in a 24-hour period here in Tallahassee, 2.8 inches of rain back from February 12th through the 13th of 1958. So definitely going to be fun to see how that develops. So Shelly, let's take it back out with a local look.
Thank you, Jake. Let's go ahead and continue with that local weather. Boy, did we see a cold day today, which was pretty nice because we were seeing those warm temperatures before that cold front went through. Our current conditions right now are 53 degrees right now under mostly cloudy skies, and we were seeing that cloudiness all day today with a dew point of 43 degrees and a humidity of 69%. That humidity is a little bit high up there. Nothing too drastic, though. Our current temperatures right now, 53 degrees in Tallahassee, 52 in Monticello, 53 in St. Mark's, pretty much the same around the whole Big Bend region. Our panhandle radar look, though, we see all of that cloud cover that we were seeing all day today going past of our region. We see a little bit of that moisture behind it making our way towards us, but we shouldn't see that a little too much as it makes our way towards us. It should die down a little bit. Looking ahead, though, here's that cold front that we've been talking about making its way past Tallahassee right now, which is why we are seeing all of those cooler temperatures, and it is making its way to southern Florida, and they're going to start seeing a lot of cooler temperatures as well. That cold blast is going to make its way in, and with that high, we're going to start seeing those beautiful sunny skies with that cold weather. It'll be just fantastic, people. And that'll continue until Saturday night. And tonight's forecast, Tallahassee, 45 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, so it will be chilly out. 46 in Monticello, 45 down in St. Mark, 47 down there in Carabel. So make sure to bundle up if you are going out because it's going to be pretty chilly, folks. But looking into tomorrow's forecast, we're going to also see that cold day ahead with brighter skies out for us, which is pretty nice after the cloudiness that we saw today. 65 here in Tallahassee, 66 in Monticello, 66 in St. Mark's, 67 over here in Perry. Pretty much the mid-60s, higher 60s for the whole day. Our day planner, though, if you are going out early, make sure to bundle up because it will be very chilly with a very cold 47 degrees, folks. That's pretty nice, seeing as we were seeing those really warm temperatures lately. As we head into the afternoon, though, it still will continue to be chilly with a 60 degree, and then later into the day, we're going to see those clear and sunny skies, folks. Absolutely beautiful, but it will stay chilly at that 62. For the next 5 days, let's go ahead and take a look. For Friday, we see it's going to be 65 degrees with a low of 47. Saturday, beautiful sunny skies, something to look forward to. 69 degrees with a low of 49. As we move into Sunday and Monday, though, there will be low percentage chance of rains. So make sure to bring those umbrellas just in case. Those highs will creep up back into the 71s and higher 69. So it will continue to stay beautiful. Now we're going to pass it to Jake with the national.
Thanks a lot, Shelly. Love that forecast. Across the rest of the country, it's pretty interesting to see lots of pockets of cold and warm air. Minneapolis sitting at 32 degrees under cloudy skies right now. Salt Lake City at 36, but towards the south staying pretty warm. 60 degrees under sunny skies in San Antonio, and of course, South Florida being stubborn as always. 75 right now in Miami with some shower activity going on. Satellite and radar, again, more pockets of weather. We see across the western coast from Central California up through the Pacific Northwest into Seattle. Lots of rainfall, some scattered snowfall in there. We've actually had some winter weather advisories that we will be talking about a little bit. And we see this low pressure system that caused the cold front that came through here spinning around and generating lots of snowfall up throughout pretty much the entirety of Maine. The 24-hour temperature change really shows us where this front was located. Most of these blue spots indicating spots where the front has passed in the last 24 hours. 14 degrees cooler than it was this time yesterday in Washington, D.C. A lot of the rest of the country, though, staying a little bit warmer, but nothing too much compared to what it is over in the east. Let's look a little bit closer now at this low pressure system circulating around in Maine as well as other regions of New England. Heavy snowfall moving its way into Bangor right now. Some scattered pockets of snowfall also moving through Buffalo, over through Syracuse, now making their way into Albany as well as Montpelier, Vermont. Now, moving towards the west, again, we have some heavy rain moving into areas of the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Olympia, as well as Portland now, Portland, Salem, Eugene. As well as areas of Northern California. That rain is going to be turning into snow a little bit as you get into the mountain regions, as well as when temperatures begin to cool down as the night goes on. With that comes a lot of watches and warnings. This purple area over here towards Idaho, as well as including Missoula, Montana, winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings in areas of Northern California, and this big orange pockets, which does include Portland, Oregon, the biggest city featured in this region. High wind advisories associated with the low pressure system moving its way into the coast. Across the Northeast, again, we see the winter storm warnings in towards northern regions of Maine, up towards Caribou and Augusta. That could be, that snowfall's gonna be making things pretty nasty. Next 48 hours, thing I want to point out is just Miami. South Florida just will not budge. 77 degrees at this time tomorrow morning, while the rest of the country is basically swathed in 20s, 30s, and 40s. Through the day on Friday, this is going to be continuing, though areas of the southwest are going to be warming up just a little bit. Phoenix at 60 degrees tomorrow night. In through the day on Saturday, again, Miami's still not budging, but 30 degrees in Kansas City and 22 in Salt Lake City, staying very cold throughout much of the Intermountain West. Airport delays, not much to speak of in the major cities, but again, if you're traveling out of, say, Portland, could be pretty nasty. Tonight, staying cool throughout much of the country, save for South Florida, and tomorrow, that trend is going to be continuing. So that's all I have for your national outlook. Jay, what's up?
I can tell you what's up, and this is this weather. It's not going up, it just keeps going right back down. We are seeing a lot more closer to winter, and with that, winter means a lot more colder temperatures as we're seeing today. Temperatures are going to be going down into the mid 40s for tonight and tomorrow night, including the weekend, so make sure you stay bundled up because it'll be quite a cold one for the next couple of nights. However, it's going to be a lot more warmer days ahead for Friday and all the way up into finals week. And I have a little forecast for you. For finals week, the temperature's going to be hitting just about 70, 71 for Monday into Tuesday. After that, temperatures are going to go right back down into the mid 60s. So if you want to go outside, you can go on land is green. If you want to have study, make sure you have a little study break in between, because again, studying constantly is not great for the brain because you only retain so much without enough sleep. Make sure you get some sleep. It's going to be a lot more colder nights, so you don't need the air conditioning run all the entire time. So you do save a lot more electricity bill with that as well. You might want to bring a heater for during the night if you do get cold like I do. I might burn a heater tonight, maybe tomorrow night. After that, I'll just leave the windows open and just call it a great night, just to sit around and just lounge. It's gonna be great weather, chilly weather to be in fact. And again, with temperatures rising back up into the 70s by Monday and Tuesday, you won't be needing ace weather as much earlier on into the finals week. Later though, we are seeing rain chances and another cold front coming in after Tuesday, and temperatures gonna go right back down into the mid 60s. So make sure you stay bundled up after Wednesday. And when you're traveling around anywhere in North Florida, it's going to be fine. South Florida may not be too lucky because, again, a lot more storms are going to be abound later on into Thursday, into the Friday of next week. But for now, cold temperatures are on the way, as well as a little more warmer afternoons. Now I'll take it out to Shane with a look around Florida.
Thanks for all that advice, Jay. I think it'll help me get through finals week. Now we're going to talk about the Sunshine State, which is mostly living up to its name, except here in the Panhandle, where the cold front is really making its presence known with those current temperatures. We can see that front vividly on almost every map I've got for you tonight, starting with the current temperatures: 70 in Orlando, or 70 in Tampa, 66 in Orlando, 75 in Miami, which, as Jake said, will not budge. But 53 degrees in Tallahassee, already 48 degrees there in Pensacola this evening. It's not even 6 o'clock there yet. It is a chilly one out there. Now we're going to look at the satellite and radar again, and there's that band of that cold front once again moving through the Panhandle, bringing us lots of clouds, lots of cold temperatures as we scoot on into the weekend hours. But now let's look at South Florida, where they've got lots of rain from Fort Myers, up into the Tampa, Orlando I-4 corridor, and down there in Miami as well, not completely free of a few showers themselves. This is all part of the wet weather system that moved through our region and soaked us yesterday morning. Now let's look at how the temperatures have changed across the whole Sunshine State. As I told you earlier, we dropped 15 degrees here in Tallahassee from this time yesterday afternoon. Similar conditions in Jacksonville and Pensacola. Down there in Orlando, their temperatures are starting to drop. 24 hours ago, they were 11 degrees warmer than they are right now. But down there in South Florida, their temperatures have barely changed at all. They've gone up, in fact, in West Palm Beach, but only by 2 degrees. Now let's talk about the dew point, because along with the colder temperatures, this cold front is going to be bringing dry conditions. The higher the number on this map, the more humidity is out there in the air. Humid down there in South Florida, like Miami, coming in at 74 degrees, 71 in Fort Myers. And this is to be expected because they're actually getting a lot of rain right now. Tallahassee, 43 degrees, Pensacola, 37. It's chapstick weather out there, let me tell you. Now, the winds are coming out of the north here in North Florida, funneling in that cold air, and they're going to shift as we get into the overnight hours, continuing to bring lots of cold air. We're talking about temperatures really plunging as we get into tomorrow early morning, and then climbing back up in South Florida, 76 degrees in Miami, 70 in Tampa. You wouldn't know it was the first week of December if you're south of I-4. And then we're talking about Saturday morning. Once again, cooler conditions. Disregard the numbers on the map here, but you can tell by the color shading, it's going to be a cold one once again Saturday morning. Let's give you a few precise numbers for tonight. 43 in Tallahassee, 66 in Fort Myers, 69 degrees down there in Miami, climbing up to a high of 79 degrees tomorrow in the South Florida region, 66 here in Tallahassee. So it is going to be a cold one, and to tell us more about how to prepare for cold weather, here's Shelley.
Thank you, Shane. I know the rest of the U.S. is used to seeing that really cold weather, but now that Florida is starting to see that cold weather, let's talk about a little bit how we can prepare for that, not just with the things around us, but with ourselves. Make sure to have extra battery-powered things, just in case the power does go out. Make sure to have a cell phone or an extra battery charger, just in case, or a battery-powered radio even. That'll be perfect for when the power goes out, just in case you do need to contact somebody in case of emergency. Never, ever turn the stove on for extra heat, because that is absolutely dangerous. So make sure to keep all of those extra blankets around, pile on those layers if you need to. Stay as warm as possible because it will be cold outside, obviously, if the power is going out. Battery-powered everything is great. Heating blankets, anything that you can think of is absolutely wonderful. Make sure to keep those windshield scrapers on your cars, for your cars, and proper tires for your cars as well, just in case you do have to make a trip out in this in a case of bad weather. But for health reasons, let's talk about a little bit about that. Make sure to stay dry, because we don't want that sickness to kick in. We don't want any of that hypothermia to kick in, just in case. Make sure to eat right to boost your immune system. That is going to help a lot to help fight the sickness as it starts getting a little bit colder. And if you are going outside, make sure to wear that warm clothing, because it is going to be super cold outside, possibly waterproof gear, just in case you start sweating, because you will cool faster if you start sweating. But right now, we're going to throw it back to the wall with Jake for another local.
Thank you very much, Shelley. One more local look for you guys, so let's jump into it right now. Let's start with off some numbers. Today we had a high of 59 degrees, 6 degrees below our average of 68, a low of 53, which shows you just how much cloud cover was hanging around our area throughout much of the day. In the next couple of days, this is going to be changing, and things are going to be looking gorgeous heading into the weekend. Current conditions around the area, 49 degrees in Dothan under sunny skies, 53 here in Tallahassee, but as the front hasn't passed, we see these very high values, 70 degrees right now under cloudy skies down in Tampa. Satellite and radar shows the clouds really hanging over our area. Some showers trying to force their way into the Panama City area, some regions of the Big Bend as well, but these should dissipate by the time they get over here. In the worst case, we could be looking at a 5 or 10 minute light drizzle. Most of the heavy rain has stayed off towards the south, even south of Orlando now. Current winds, as the front has passed, the winds have shifted direction, are coming out of the north, and are coming pretty strong now. 12 miles per hour in Dothan, 8 here in Tallahassee, 12 over in Pensacola. A little bit different down towards the south, still coming out of the northeast a little bit in Orlando, not as northerly as we see up here. Looking ahead, though, the front is going to be passing a little bit more and moving these clouds out of our region while pushing more rain down into South Florida. Around here, the clouds are going to be clearing out, high pressure system moving its way in, setting up for what's going to be a cold blast through the day on Friday, and that's going to continue into Saturday and Sunday, though we could be looking at rain chances becoming just a little bit to talk about there. Saturday afternoon, the cold blast is going to be continuing. Clouds might be hanging around here, but again, shouldn't be anything worse than partly cloudy skies with that high pressure system still settled down over our area. Tomorrow, if you're going out on the water, it's not really going to be the best day to get out there just because of that wind strength coming out of the northeast from 15 to 20 miles per hour, 3 to 5 foot surf. So if you're not an experienced boater, I would say to stay off the water in regards to that, but it could be an okay day to go to the beach as long as you bring a light jacket. UV index going to be at 6 with that sun staying out. Again, the boating forecast, not looking like the best day to get out there with rough waters, but if you're experienced and, it's Friday afternoon, then it's going to be a pretty nice day to get out there. Tonight, 45 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. It's going to be a very, very chilly night with winds coming out of the north, so be sure to bring a jacket. Not just a recommendation anymore. That is changing, and that's going to be continuing through the next couple of days. Friday, 65 degrees for a high under mostly sunny skies. Very, very dry out there, and that wind is still going to be coming out of the north and making things feel even cooler than 65 throughout much of the day. Could be feeling like 50s throughout most of the afternoon. Into the week ahead, this is going to be continuing. Sunday and Monday, we're looking at 20% rain chances, but nothing too bad. Temperatures are going to be staying in the 60s and 70s with lows hanging around in the 40s. It's something I am really looking forward to myself. Going to be looking like a gorgeous weekend and quite the way to end this semester before I head back down to home in South Florida.
Absolutely. So basically what we're looking forward to is cold, cold, and more cold weather, right, Jake?
Yeah, I am. Again, I can't say it enough. I'm really looking forward to it, and it's gonna be a nice way to say goodbye to this semester. It's my last show for this semester too, so it's
Definitely.
It's been a really fun ride out here, and it's been interesting to see how things have changed so much from those 90-degree days we were seeing in November. That week we had actually broke 4 record highs, but again, looking at that week ahead, it is a totally different story.
It is, but lucky for you, you are heading down to South Florida where it still is warm outside, folks.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'll be able to actually do some stuff outside. Unlike, we have one person here who's going to be going up to Ohio. That won't be fun,
Wow.
shoveling all that snow out of the way. But
Definitely not. Definitely a change from the scenery down in Florida.
Oh yeah. Well, if you like our show, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter at FSU Weather. If you actually want to watch our shows again, we are on livestream.com/FSU Weather as well. We're looking forward to hanging out with some of you guys there.
Definitely.
Okay, and for all of us here at FSU Weather, it's been a very fun night hanging out with you guys. I am student meteorologist Jay Karstens.
And I am student meteorologist Shelly Lindblade.
Have a fun night. Make sure to bring those jackets and study up and get some sleep for all the FSU students out there. Have a good one.